video as long as 10 minutes. This morning I woke up and I asked my daughter to do something, and I realized that traveled faster, than the normal Facebook page. The mentions, once you put art and you tag people, it travels a lot. And also one of the effects of Facebook, before the Instagram of this world and the rest came, I made a film in 2007, and we were going to have a premiere in London at the BFI, the London Film Festival. And we were able to pull out a lot of crowd by just using Facebook, because we couldn't afford to use the mainstream television or radio in UK. But everybody was on Facebook, at that time, and this really, really, helped. And this is Nigeria. This is, that's part of it.
Mark Zuckerberg, a man of international repute, one of the top 10 richest men in the world, just made a nasty remark about Nigeria power sector. Imagine having a global investor like Mark Zuckerberg saying a negative thing about your country, saying this is Nigeria when NEPA interrupted power supply. It's crazy. It means that even him, Mark Zuckerberg, is aware of the power failure we are having in this country. This is the height of demarketing. This is high-level demarketing. The other day, Mr. P2B posted that he was in Washington, D.C. when he talked about Africa and Nigeria as a whole. And he read out statistics to show how Nigeria has gone down the pecking order, how poverty rate is so high in Nigeria. Mr. P2B was simply stating the obvious, and a PDP chieftain, Segun Showomi, attacked him and said Mr. P2B is demarketing Nigeria on an international platform. I just went through his timeline and I did not see him reacting to this video. Apparently it means nothing to him. I remember when Davido gave an interview in Atlanta, US, when he asked people not to come back to Nigeria and invest because the economy is in a mess. Davido was attacked for demarketing Nigeria. The truth is, the supporters of this government, and even those who are looking to get favors from this government, they are blind to the truth. They are blind to the fact. Probably they know the truth, but because they support mediocrity, because when you are supporting someone like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you've already chosen mediocrity as your pathway. With all the presidential candidates in this country, someone like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who could not even defend his manifesto, who could not even promise Nigerians what he's going to do when he gets into power. All he said was that I'm going to start from where President Muhammadu Buhari stopped. This is the kind of man you are supporting. So I don't even expect you to understand what it means to demarket Nigeria. Of course, we're talking about the same president who was resting in France, in Europe, when these people were being killed in Plateau and Benue State. Upon his arrival, he did not even visit those communities. All he did was to designate Godswill Akpabio and some other politicians to go to Rome to pay respect, to commiserate with the people of Rome, to commiserate with the Catholic faith over the death of Pope Francis. And you think that is not demarketing enough? That is a huge demarketing, because people are watching you, the international community are watching you. Again, we're talking about a president that has a Muslim ticket. Now, when people went to Rome to pay respect to Pope Francis, I saw a very beautiful picture, and I want you to look at this picture. This is a picture of Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, who is currently fighting a war with Russia. In this same picture is the president of US, Donald Trump. In that same picture is the president of France, Emmanuel Macron. In that same picture is the Prime Minister of UK, Keir Starmer. As you can see that they're having a conversation, and after this picture, the next picture you are seeing is the picture of Donald Trump and Zelensky sitting together and discussing. And I can tell you for a real fact, they are not discussing any other thing but the issue in Ukraine. Few weeks after Donald Trump was inaugurated as president, Zelensky visited the White House and there were discussions about ending the war between Ukraine and Russia, but that ended in a stalemate. Now look at them having a conversation when they went to pay a visit to Pope Francis. This visit accorded world leaders an opportunity to meet and discuss. Where was your president? Where was your vice president? They were nowhere to be found. Why? Because they have a Muslim ticket. Who did they send? They sent Godswill Akpabio, the Senate president that is adjudged the worst Senate president in the history of this country. A Senate president that is being embroiled in sexual allegation by Natasha Akpoti. Natasha Akpoti has gone around the world telling everyone that care to listen that your Senate president is a sexual predator. This is the same person that is representing your country in Italy, where world leaders are currently meeting. Tell me one important discussion that Godswill Akpabio is going to have with world leaders at that meeting. He's even overlooked. Even Mr. Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, was accorded more respect than your Senate president. Reason, you are having a Muslim ticket and you don't know how demarketing that is for your country, Nigeria. I am sure Mark Zuckerberg has never experienced this kind of thing in his lifetime before. Of course, he stays in a country where power supply is a priority. It is the responsibility of the government to provide electricity to her citizens. Not just electricity, but stable power supply. Tell me how Mark Zuckerberg will like to bring an investment into Nigeria. Tell me why Mark Zuckerberg will like to invest into Nigeria. Nigeria is an emerging market with budding young talents scattered all over the country. Every investor will like to queue into Nigerian market. Every investor will like to queue into Nigerian talent. But they cannot do that because we don't have a conducive environment for that. Power supply is one of the major factors that attract investment. No investor will like to come into your country and start providing electricity for his or her company. If they eventually decide to come into Nigeria, use their own resources to provide electricity, they are going to transfer the cost of that electricity to the final product. That is the reason why you are seeing commodities in the market are so expensive. That is the reason why you're seeing the price of manufactured goods in Nigeria has skyrocketed. Imagine the goods you used to buy 4 years ago. Go and check the price now. The price has almost tripled. The reason is not far-fetched. The manufacturers are transferring the cost of manufacturing those goods into the final product. Coupled with electricity supply is the deplorable road that is scattered all over the country. Imagine in 2025, we are still talking about bad road in Nigeria. The president had an opportunity to revamp all the bad road in this country, but he went on a white elephant project, constructing a Lagos-Calabar coastal highway that is costing 15 trillion naira to do. Imagine what 15 trillion naira would have done to all the road in this country. Imagine how fixing all the deplorable road in this country would have boosted our economy, would have aided traveling. Aside the high price of fuel, another factor contributing to the skyrocketing price of commodities in the market is transportation. Our roads are very bad. Most farmers spend days on the road before they can transport their goods to the market. Imagine if we have good transport system. Imagine if our railways are working. Imagine how it will aid the movement of goods on people from one villages to the other. Imagine how this will aid in buying and selling. Imagine what it will add to our economy. Not having a good transport system in 2025 is huge demarketing to Nigeria. Most investors will not like to come and invest in this country because of poor road network, because of poor infrastructure. They would rather go to a country that already has all of this in place. Yes, that is a country they will go. Nigeria used to be the biggest economy in Africa, but now Nigeria has been overtaken by countries like South Africa, Egypt, and Algeria to become the biggest economy in Africa. When you go to these countries, you will understand the reason why they were able to flip Nigeria. One of the factors that enabled them to flip Nigeria is power supply. Within a decade, Egypt and South Africa were able to generate 50,000 megawatts of electricity. How much is Nigeria generating? Nigeria is generating just 4,000 megawatts. There is no how a country will progress with this level of mediocrity. Also to mention is their transport system. Go to Egypt and see how they are connecting roads to different villages. Go to Egypt and see the level of infrastructure currently going on in Egypt. I'm not even talking about South Africa because they have high level infrastructure. Which infrastructure do we have in Nigeria that is aiding transportation? Most people that are supporting this government do not even understand the level of rot we are currently in. Most people supporting this government do not even understand how the quality of their life is gradually reducing in their very own eyes. They don't even understand how the government they are supporting is destroying their life. Nigeria used to be a $500 billion economy, but currently, Nigeria GDP has been reduced to $199 billion. All this happened in the space of 10 years, from 2015 when APC took over power till now, and some persons are not even seeing the dangerous trend this country is sliding into. and you want a serious investor to take your country serious, a country whose currency is weak, a country whose economy keep dwindling, a country that is high neck in debt profile, is it the kind of country that you will invest your money into? Your president, the politicians you are singing their praises, are the one demarketing Nigeria in international community, not someone that went on a radio station or someone that comments on his Twitter account about the state of economy. Most of you think you are patriotic to Nigeria. You are not being patriotic. You are just simply being blind followers. Or maybe more than a blind followers. Most of you supporting this government, you know what you're doing. You know that this government is incompetent. You know that the politicians you're singing their praises to high heaven are not capable of contributing any meaningful development to the progress of Nigeria. But the worst of it all is that you are supporting them at your own detriment. Inflation, high cost of living, insecurity, reduction in the quality of life and the purchasing power of the people has nothing to do with the president and other politicians that you are singing their praises. Even Mr. P2B, that most of you are insulting on social media for rolling out facts, for stating statistics that shows that Nigerian government are doing badly, for being an opposition leader, is not being affected by all of this. You, the ones who are being paid 5,000 naira to go on social media to ensure that you continue suffering, you are the ones that are suffering the brunt of this bad government. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.